Welcome. Let's get another message for those that are having trouble with the loss of a loved one. We've got this many cards left. I've already done a whole pile if you want to go and check back on my TikTok page. But let's see what Spirit wants to clarify today for you. Okay, this one wants to go out. Okay. The reason I left the way I did. So a lot of times, let's see if I could prop that up for you. A lot of times, and it's not going to stay, with death, we always question, why did that person, that loved one, leave the way they did? We always question, like, why would God want to hurt us this way? Or why should we have to endure such pain? What would be the point of it? A lot of times people just don't understand. So this is where I try and teach people why they exist, because it's so important to know. By knowing this, you would understand more of something like this. So to try and explain here, when we contract our life to come into life, we have it all planned out, basically, of what we want to experience, things we have to redo that we are not happy with in a past life, connections that we want to make to further our evolve our soul to get closer to God. There's so many different examples, but in order to evolve, you have to experience something, because heaven, which I call home, is all knowing. So when we go home, there is a sense of all knowing, you know what I mean? Where here we just can't grasp something. We can't understand something, but it will come to focus when we pass over and go home. But what we come here for is to actually experience something. So when we come here, we want to experience being rich. We want to experience being poor. We want to experience friendship. We want to experience, who knows? We just have all these different paths. So in order to learn it fully is to experience it. So that is why, even in death, we have to experience death to better understand death, right? We have to experience heartache in order to understand heartache, right? If you notice, some people go through life struggling and, experiencing such things, and then all of a sudden they hit 40, 50, and they want to become a coach to teach others about that situation. Or a loved one leaves from a certain situation, and that's what sparks your interest to learn about it, you know what I mean? And then go and teach people. There's reasons for everything that happens, or it could be for a purpose of a past life that, you needed to connect and learn more about. So you chose to, a certain way. Now, this could be a reason you needed to exit. Then we have free will, where we chose a certain path And it's we know it's not right, we can sense it's not right, things aren't going right for us, but we still have that stubborn uh, feeling of keep going. And so we're on the wrong path, and then we end up passing. So in that circumstance, the council on the other side, home, heaven, will decide at that point when you cross, when you're transitioning, if it's close enough time for you to exit this contract. If it is, then you have the opportunity to go home. But if it's not, then you get thrown back into life. And that's where you hear those situations where you should have died, something happened, something saved you, you were in the hospital, and most people die from this, but then somehow you came about and survived the surgery and the doctor saved you, stuff like that. That's because it wasn't your time. Or, you know what I mean? And it wasn't your time and you were going down the wrong path. You were not on the right path. So you were brought back in. Um, let's see. The reason I left the way I did. Yeah, those are basically the situations that we get caught in. And that's why certain souls leave. A lot of times also, there's so many reasons to why we're here. We can't even grasp. But some other situations like health, people don't understand that cancer or, situations where we get terminally ill, it's because we've brought it on ourselves throughout this lifetime or other lifetimes. We make ourselves sick. We are building all this disease in our temples, our bodies, from the way we act, the way we live, what we do to ourselves, what we, put in our bodies, da 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 da. It all affects it. And that is why we pass from certain illnesses. Now, the situation with life right now, is not helping. How people are adding all this shit to foods, to environments. This is all accumulation of incarnations that we have existed and participated in. These souls that are doing these bad things, they're going to reap their karma. You know what I mean? It's all recorded. Nothing goes missed in our life. And it will all be full circle, right? What good you do comes full circle. What bad you do comes full circle. So the way you participate in this situation is up to you. By changing your thoughts, your actions on what you put into your body, the way you feel about yourself. Are you feeling like you're not good enough? That's rotting inside of you. Everything takes a toll. That's why it's kind of hard to explain. But the main reason that we want to answer for today is that the soul needs to experience this, needs to learn something from something. The soul needs to evolve for some reason. And also, they could be exiting this way to help you start some of those situations I mentioned in the past where, you want to start up a group to fight against a certain situation. You know what I mean? Like, everything is for a reason. and no one gets tortured per se. You know what I mean? When someone exits, they are immediately counseled to where they get therapy, like they get loving energy to soothe what they experienced in that flash of exiting. So don't ever think that something is horrific or, not needed or for no purpose, because there's a reason for everything. So I hope that kind of explained it. I'm sorry, I know it can get a little confusing because we do not understand what we are going through a lot of times, but trust me, everything is for a reason. So I'm going to leave you there, guys, and I'd appreciate the follow because I love helping people move forward, and I would appreciate any suggestions or questions you may have. I will do my best to try and explain what my son has helped me understand. So until next time, take care.